the Clemson quarterback, Trevor Lawrence, on the program. First time that we've had Trevor on. Thanks for joining us. Got Notre Dame coming up this weekend, the ACC title game. By the way, what's the weather like there in Clemson?
A little cold this morning.
Oh,
But
don't say cold. No, this is cold up here. That's not cold. What is it, like 60 degrees?
it's probably upper 40s.
Oh, it
today.
is. All
Yeah,
right.
not too bad though.
All
It'll
right.
warm up. By the afternoon it'll be 60. So
Could you have played college football in a cold weather climate?
I wouldn't have preferred it, but I think I could have done it. But I don't know. I like playing in the cold just because we don't do it often. But to do it every week from October on would be rough. But man, I think it'd been fine.
But if you didn't go to Clemson, where were you going?
The top school is probably Georgia, so that's still in the South. It's hot down here.
And staying in state as well.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
How difficult was it to watch the Notre Dame game from the sidelines?
It's tough. I mean, as a competitor, you just want to be out there, and obviously the circumstances are just crazy. Being able to be at the game but can't play. It wasn't, I guess I wasn't, contagious or whatever for COVID anymore. So that was kind of frustrating, but just the way it is, part of it. But yeah, it was definitely frustrating. Obviously, DJ played really well, so that made it a little bit easier. Just that he was ready to go, played well, but wish I could have been out there to give us a chance.
How long did it take you to learn how to pronounce DJ's last name?
Not too long. Someone told me, I thought it was ukulele at first, but someone told me pretty early, so I kind of made it a point to get it right.
Well, let's hear it.
Ui unga lele.
Okay. All right. Just want to make sure that you got that right. When you're watching film on Notre Dame, what jumps out at you?
They're just a good team all the way around. Really, there's really not any weak links, and then they're just really disciplined. They know what they're doing. They don't try to necessarily confuse you. Obviously, they have some good third down packages and some good disguises, but they're not overly complicated. It's just they do what they do and they do it well. They're really good in the run game, really physical, especially with their D-line and linebackers. They usually always have an extra hat in the box, something they do a really good job of. But yeah, they're just really disciplined. Run game and pass game, they're gap sound, and they know what they're doing. So I think that's the biggest thing.
When did you know you were famous?
I don't know. I mean, I come from a small town, so I guess through high school it was everybody kind of knew who I was, just being from a small football town in Georgia. But I think probably after the first national championship, it kind of went to a new level, especially around here. Just going out to places just kind of changed. So I think that's probably when I was like, dang, things can't go back to how they were. It's different now.
But were you prepared for it?
Yeah, I think just my journey, and it's kind of been gradual. All that has been building to this point. So I think I've been preparing for it, and then just realizing kind of what my platform and role entails, and just kind of accepting it. At first, it's like some things can be kind of frustrating or whatever, but then you just realize like, I'm in this situation for a reason and try to use it for good.
Do you read Twitter?
Yeah, I'm on Twitter. I try to not be on it too much because I think everybody knows that there's a whole lot of stuff out there. But I try to keep up a little bit, but it can definitely be distracting if you look into it too much.
But you got to have a sense of humor, though, Trevor.
Oh yeah. No, it's some of the stuff I see is just funny. But yeah, I look at it a little bit.
I'm not surprised you're on it. I'm surprised you're admitting that you're on it, because it would be one of those where maybe you tell your fiance, hey, just tell me what they're saying. Just tell me the good parts of what they're saying, not the bad parts.
Maybe I should. Start doing that. No, I really do try to, because I like to stay, involved and kind of on social media, and just like I feel like that's a good tool. But at the same time, I try to like limit it a little bit, so I only look at it certain times. This is crazy. I mean, the stuff that people send me, and you just get tagged in, all that stuff. It's wild.
Did you ever meet that woman who looks like you? Did you ever reach out to her?
I didn't reach out, but I did meet her. She came to a game last year. She came. We do our Tiger Walk. We park on the road and walk that little stretch to the locker room. she was right there. So of course there's a bunch of pictures and stuff. It's crazy.
But did you think, gosh, she looks like me?
I did. I was like, dang, she really does. I don't obviously don't like to admit that, but I was like, that's pretty close.
How important is the Heisman?
I mean, I've said it before. It's a hard question. I mean, it's obviously something that would be awesome to win, and I'm not going to say that it wouldn't be, and that I wouldn't, love that. That would be great. But honestly, I mean, and this is the truth. I just don't really focus on it too much. I think that's an award that your play speaks for itself, and there's a lot of factors that go into it, and especially a season like this where everyone's played different games, schedule's been kind of rearranged, blown up, all those things. It's just a tough thing to gauge, so I don't put too much stake in it. I know who I am, confident in who I am, regardless of whether I win it or not. But obviously, I don't have to say that it would be a huge accomplishment to be able to be considered for it, to win it.
Yeah, but there's nothing wrong with saying I want it.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, when you're competitive and you play a sport like college football, you put a lot of time in, a lot of work. So the awards, all that stuff is really cool, and you kind of get recognized for the work you put in. So that would be awesome. But if I'm having to pick between that and a national championship, no hesitation from me. So I don't know. Maybe those will go hand in hand. That'd be awesome too.
It'll be Notre Dame and Clemson in the ACC championship game this Saturday at 4 Eastern. We're talking to Trevor Lawrence. When's the last time you got yelled at by Dabo?
Probably the Miami game. Actually got yelled at. He's kind of got on to me a few times, but he chewed me out pretty good after the Miami game. Scored a touchdown, spiked the ball, got a flag. He kind of ripped into me there. So that was the first time in a while. So that's what he said after the game. He's like, I don't get many chances to Trevor out, so I'm going to take it when I get it.
I didn't know if you start laughing or you want to laugh because you know that he doesn't really mean it. But when he starts yelling at you, is there any part of you that just wants to go, no, Coach, stop? Don't.
No, I think it's just like that relationship where me and Coach Swinney have a great relationship, but just it's one of those things where he's got to make sure he takes his opportunities to get on to me when he can, just to show that nobody's bigger than anybody else. It's just, it's all part of it. I respect him, but it's funny, the other guys in the team kind of laughing about it and coming up to me after, because it doesn't happen much. Some of those other guys get chewed out all the time.
Do you do an imitation of Coach?
Not really. We have some guys that do a really good one. I haven't really. I ain't got it down yet.
Well, does he have a saying or a look that these guys try to imitate?
I mean, it's just funny how internally the stuff he does to motivate us and the stuff he says is just there's too many to name. I mean, he has so many sayings. We call them Swinneyisms that he just says all the time. That's like beat into our brains. So he does a good job of making sure we leave here with some quotes.
Did you grow up an NFL fan?
Not really, honest. I grew up watching college football mostly. Didn't watch the NFL too much. Obviously, just a big football fan. But, yeah, I was more of a college football fan growing up.
Did you have posters growing up? Did you wear NFL jerseys? Anything like that?
Not really. I think I might have had it when I was a little kid, like a Peyton Manning jersey from the Colts. But like I said, I really wasn't. I mean, he was my favorite player, but other than that, I didn't really watch it too much or have a favorite team.
Have you met him?
I did. I met him. I guess the first time I met him was 2 summers ago at their camp, the Manning camp. So it was cool. Their whole family is good people, so it was good.
When's the last time you watched an NFL game?
I actually just watched. I watched the very end of the game last night. The Browns and Ravens. I saw that it was like going back and forth, so I turned it on. But honestly, I don't watch too much. We're either in practice or getting home late or whatever, so I don't really watch too much. But I keep up with it. But keeping up with who's doing well, and obviously I think it was in like the Steelers when they were undefeated. I always kind of like root for those teams. It would have been cool to see them finish that. Obviously, they're still playing well, but so stuff like that I kind of keep up with. But
how can you not let the situation with the Jets affect you? or at least, that you could end up in New York if they don't win and you're the number one pick. You don't get to pick where you want to go, and that's really difficult for, somebody just starting out. But how prepared are you to do something like that?
I mean, I think I'm ready. I think just being here at Clemson, my journey has taught me a lot. I've grown up a lot the past few years, and I'm really just ready to take on whatever challenge it is, and just to have the opportunity.
Have you watched the Jets, Trevor?
I haven't really, honestly. Obviously, I've
don't
highlights and stuff. But,
don't.
No, I mean, really, honestly, I know some of this stuff I say sounds cliche, but just to have the opportunity to go somewhere, help someone rebuild if that's what it is, or whatever, and just win. That's what, something I love doing. I think that's what I'm best at is winning, regardless of stats, whatever it is, that's what I love. So just to have that chance, obviously some places it'll be more of a challenge than others, but I think I'm up for it, and that'll get here when it's here. Just trying to focus now on being great where I'm at.
You're officially leaving Clemson, right, after the Final Four?
I mean, it's likely. Obviously, okay. I don't want to completely shut any door, but
well, didn't they introduce you on senior day? So I thought that might have been their way of saying thank you,
so
Trevor.
I'm graduating, so Coach Swinney let me go ahead. Hey, but Christian Wilkins, he did it twice. He ran down the hill twice, 2 years in a row. So you never know.
On it, how far do you think you could throw it right now on that practice field? If you warmed up,
I would say probably like 65 to maybe between 65 and 70. I can't necessarily throw it the farthest, but far enough. I'll say that.
Well, hopefully you don't have to throw it that far, but yeah, I was curious. Can DJ throw it farther than you?
Oh yeah, he's got a cannon. He can probably throw it 75 plus. I mean, he can sling it.
He's a big guy. He's as big as any defensive player you go up against, isn't he?
Yeah, he's about 250, probably 6'5", 250. He's huge.
That's crazy.
I've had to try to put weight on. He's trying to keep it off. We got opposite problems, and we can just kind of meet in the middle.
Well, college football should be proud that they've had you for 3 years, and the NFL will be proud to have you as well. You have done some great things there, and you get an opportunity to hopefully play in the Final Four there. And we wish you luck against Notre Dame. And we were glad to have you on, Trevor.
Yeah, thank you, Dan. Thank you for having me. Appreciate you guys.
Well, it took a while to get him, but good appearance by Trevor Lawrence.
Very likable.
Yeah, he is.